So, hi everyone. We are very happy to have you here in our podcast. My name is Maria. I am here with my co host Juan. And we are very happy to release our new podcast episode for Culture Shocked, which is our name. So, I'm super excited, Juan, about our podcast. How do you feel today?
Also very excited because we're gonna get to share our experiences about moving to a different country, different culture, and then yes, perhaps we can inspire some people with the stories that some of you are struggling or having success already in a different country from your mother country. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, same here. So maybe we can tell the audience why do we come up with this idea of having this podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So maybe I can just tell you like I am an immigrant. I am from Colombia, and I have lived in different countries. At the moment, I am living in Germany, but I also have experience as an immigrant in Canada, in France, Austria. And talking to my friend Juan, we were saying, hey, how cool would be to have a channel. We will allow other people to tell their fascinating stories because there are so many beautiful stories to tell.
Yeah.
And I would say we all as immigrants share the same value, which is being very strong and full of courage, right?
Yeah, resilient. Resilience is your main value.
Isn't
You
it?
really need it. Sometimes you lose the hope and stuff, but we are alive, so this means that you can also do it.
Yes, exactly, right? So I would say being an immigrant has a lot of shocks. That's why
Mhm.
we decided to call our podcast Culture Shocked. In many different areas, I would say each immigrant story has different moments of shock, right?
Mhm.
We would also like to invite some guests as well who are
Yes,
immigrants
we
from
will.
all over the world, right?
Yes.
Because we want to inspire you, we want to help you maybe find ways how to come out of a struggle with other ideas or solutions that many people already implemented. So
Mhm.
why not having this space for that, right?
It's great. I love it.
So, I mean, our mother tongue is Spanish, as you can tell in our accent. But we were talking with Juan and we say, hey, if we want to touch more people, definitely we should focus on a podcast more like in English.
Yeah.
However, maybe we will have also some episodes in Spanish
Mhm.
whenever we are going to interview some people who are not great at English or
Mhm.
who don't feel that comfortable speaking in
Sure,
English,
sure.
right? So I hope that many of you will start taking some Spanish classes for the future.
Some of you should take some Spanish classes.
Spanish is great, right?
Spanish is amazing.
Hablamos español.
Claro que sí.
So, I don't know, Juan. I was thinking, what if we start like sharing our first
Agree.
immigrant story, our
Hágale.
first experience as immigrant?
Totally.
Would you like to start telling
Ladies
us?
first. Ladies first.
Ladies first.
What
Oh,
was your
such
what
a-
was your what was the first country you emigrated to?
And my first country I immigrated to was Canada.
Really?
Yes.
Which year?
Already a long time ago, in 2005.
Uh-huh.
And it was very funny because, I mean, I am from Medellin, Colombia.
Really? Me too.
we are from Medellin, Colombia. And like when I was living there, I always had the dream
Mm-hmm.
to visit other countries and to get to know as many cultures as possible because I am a very curious person.
Okay. Okay, but wait. And why did you choose Canada? Or was it like randomly, or how did it happen?
Actually, it was at one point in my life when I was working and there was an opportunity for me to take some money from the company and quit. There was
Mhm.
like, this a program the company was doing, a structured program, and people could quit the job if they wanted and get some money.
Oh.
So I say, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to go and improve my English skills.
Uh-huh.
And I was always interested in Canada as a culture because it has this mix between European culture and the American culture, you know.
Mhm.
So I moved to Montreal with that money.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was
But,
there 6 months.
Okay, but did you speak English already when you moved there? Or what was your level of English when you first moved to this place?
Actually, like it was from school, my English level from school, which was
Okay.
not great.
So basically nothing.
Basically nothing, but I was very skilled at languages.
Uh-huh.
So I decided to go to language school, and I took an English for business class.
Fancy.
Very fancy. I mean, to be honest, I loved it in Canada.
Mhm.
It was really an amazing experience, one of the best experience I had in my life.
Really?
Oh yeah, it
Okay.
was lovely. When I moved there, it was summertime.
See.
You know, so everybody happy, super hot, people enjoying the
Yeah,
summer.
you get excited, and then you're like,
Yes.
"Oh my God, I love it."
Yes, it
But
was.
then, what happens when it hits winter?
Then I had a winter shock.
Yeah, of
To
course.
be honest, it was like at the beginning it was amazing, like these summer vibes, and you know, a lot of festivals outside, and people super ongoing and open-minded with other cultures.
Mhm.
But let me tell you something. When I moved there, I moved with a friend. Why Canada? You ask me why Canada?
Yes, please.
Because a friend of mine, she got a boyfriend from Montreal.
Uh-huh.
And so she decided to immigrate there. And I was thinking of, hey, I would like to go, but I was afraid of going alone, you know. I was
You were also looking for a boyfriend.
No, I was not looking for a boyfriend, but I was looking for some
A
kind
classical. I want to immigrate, but I don't want to do it alone. I get a boyfriend.
No, my friend, a female friend. She got a boyfriend.
Yes, but then
Not
you.
me.
Yeah, okay, but you were thinking I also get a boyfriend, no?
No, I say I
Ah,
am
be
not,
honest.
No, I say I don't want to be alone there because I
Uh-huh.
was, you know, in Medellin in my family. We were like a cocoon, like a bubble.
Yeah.
I was super protected, so I was always thinking, I am really weak and I am not so strong enough to make this step on my own alone. I was super afraid what can happen as a woman alone in a country. But then she said, hey, you can come with us, you can live with us, and I could pay them like a rent, which was very helpful for both
But
of them.
who told you this? Your friend?
My friend.
Ah, okay.
She's also
okay.
from Colombia, and she moved there with her boyfriend.
How old were you when this situation happened that you got the opportunity to travel?
I was like 25, 26, around
Okay,
that.
okay.
But it was really uncomfortable because I was living with this friend and her boyfriend. They were
Yes.
like in the honeymoon phase.
Oh God.
And I was feeling like, you know, in Spanish, violinista, the violinist of the relationship.
Yes.
And
The candle in the middle of the table.
exactly. It was like, oh my God, I was feeling really awkward with them.
Mm-hmm.
They were always like, they wanted to be like alone and have their intimacy, and I was coming. And they were like making like some faces like, oh, she's here. So I started to feel really bad about the situation. And besides that, I remember something that was really scary. It was the fact that he was living close to a cemetery. So when I was coming back at night, I had to walk close to a cemetery, which was awful. Like really, you know, like it just...
Ay, pobrecita, toda asustada la muchacha.
Estaba súper nerviosa. I was really, really afraid of that cemetery. So at some point in this English school, I met a girl, a Canadian girl from Vancouver. She was, you know, like this kind of girl who is like a vegan girl, full of, you know, piercings and tattoos. And she was like completely different from me because I'm like a girly girl. But she was super nice, and I was telling her, hey, you know, like I am feeling very uncomfortable with my friend and her boyfriend. I definitely would like to move. And then she told me, hey, in my apartment, my roommate moved, so you can join me because I need to have a new roommate. I moved there. Like the apartment, it was like a bedroom, you know.
Oh,
it
God.
was like a small kitchen, a small bathroom, and there a small mezzanine with like
10 square meters, basically.
a mattress, like you have to pump it up with air. And we were sleeping on this bed together, like on this little
Really?
my mezzanine, really. It was like kind of, you know, I was not used to that because I was living in Colombia in a big house.
Yes, of course. She was with all comfort
Yeah,
from
so
the
I was
family,
like,
a
exactly.
good bed, the fridge full of food.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then, you know, like I was paying my rent there. There was no comfort. We didn't even have like a proper sofa.
Mm-hmm.
We had like an Europaleta with cushions. And I was not able to work there. I was not allowed to work there. So
No.
my money was, slowly disappearing.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh my God.
The
And then,
pain.
yes, the money, la platica. So, I was always eating, meat in Colombia. We are carnívoros.
All the time, every day.
Meat. I became vegan in Canada because I was living with a vegan girl.
Became vegan by force.
And then
Pobrecita.
I could not afford meat,
Yeah, of course,
So,
yeah.
I was buying the food together with her, and she was only cooking because I didn't know how to cook. By the way, she
Ay,
teach
Dios.
me a little bit, but I was eating nur vegan food.
Okay.
Okay, so, but it was a nice experience, and then she moved away.
Okay, Maria, but wait a second.
Okay.
So the first one was Canada. How long you stayed in Canada?
I stayed 6 months in Canada.
6 months, okay.
I stayed 6 months in Canada. I met my ex-husband there.
You
German.
see, you were looking for a boyfriend. I was not wrong at all.
Boyfriend, but I met him in this language school.
Uh-huh.
And then he invited me to visit him in Germany, like 3 months.
He was German.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was German. So, but I have a lot of shock in Canada because of the weather conditions, like minus 20,
Yeah.
minus 30 degrees. It was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I arrived 3 months in Germany. It was 10 degrees. And I was like, oh, finally, summer. And I remember I was in his terrace taking the sun in bikini. And he was telling me, hey, you're going to catch a cold. And I was like, no, 10 degrees is super hot for me. Because I was just this minus 20,
Oh
minus
my
30
God.
degrees. Really, I swear. So actually, and then from there we came back to Colombia. So he had
But wait, you moved from Canada to Germany.
only 3 months to visit him.
Okay.
Then I came back to Colombia.
Okay.
And he came with me. He stayed.
But you stayed again in Colombia.
I stayed for 2 years, kind of.
Okay.
I was working again, and he stayed. He got to know my family, a culture.
Uh-huh.
But we both wanted to do our master studies in Europe.
Okay.
So from there on, we went to Austria. To
Really?
Vienna, yes.
Wow.
We were living in Vienna.
For how long? For how long in Vienna?
2 years.
Together.
Yes. I was doing my
while
master
you were
studies.
studying.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The shock was with the language, of course. Like
German.
I did have no idea how to speak German. And they don't even speak German there. They speak like a Wiener accent dialect,
Yes.
Which
I also
is
lived in Wien.
Really?
Yes.
You have to
Not
tell
too
me
long.
more.
Not too long. I did live in Wien like for 3 or 4 months. Yes.
Oh, you have to
Beautiful
tell me.
Beautiful city.
Yes, but the thing with Vienna is it's amazing. But I always had the feeling this is like living in a museum.
Yeah, kind of.
For me.
Architecture is great. Art is great. Music is great. In general, it is indeed.
Was not planning is that I was pregnant by then.
In Wien.
Before
Before
going to
Wien.
my studies, yes.
So you got pregnant in Colombia.
Yes, made in Colombia.
Mhm.
But then,
Exportation quality, mijo.
exportation quality. And then, it was really a struggle because I had to learn German.
Yeah.
I had to go to my master's studies, thanks God, in English. And I was pregnant.
Wow.
Far away from my family. It
Jesus.
was super hard time.
I can,
Super
I
hard.
Can imagine.
So I'm very proud that I finished my studies with a
Mhm.
baby. She came to this world before I finished my master's.
Wow.
It was really tough, but I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, my ex-husband had a position in France, so we
Mhm.
moved to beautiful South France.
Oh, so you were also living in
Uh-huh.
France.
My
Hey,
favorite place.
mademoiselle, ¿qué está pasando aquí?
Mademoiselle.
How many countries have you lived in then?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And of course, my French level was really
You
basic
speak French?
from school. Yeah.
Ay,
Now I
Dios
speak
mío.
French.
Wow.
Because people in South France, they don't talk to people in English,
Uh-huh.
So my
okay.
ex-husband was living alone at home, and
Oh, God.
I had problems. Hey, someone has to fix the kitchen water. There is a problem, blah, blah, blah. And I
Oh,
was
no.
trying to talk to a guy. Hey, can you come and fix me? He didn't understand.
Cultural shocked.
It was so hard. It was so hard for me, to communicate.
Yeah.
And then from South France, we moved to...
How long in France?
In total 5 years.
Hmm.
So first in Aix-en-Provence and then in Toulouse, which I loved.
Okay.
And from Toulouse, we moved to Munich.
Okay, Germany.
And here, actually, I learned my like German. Finally, really.
And since then, you are living here in Germany.
Yes, since 2014.
Okay, so let's make recount. So you were born in Colombia.
Exactly, Medellin.
Yes. Then you lived in Canada.
Yes.
Then you moved to Wien.
Mm-hmm.
Then you moved to France.
Yes.
And then you moved to Germany.
Exactly.
So this is in total 5 cultural shocks.
Completely.
Or no, 4, because you were born in Colombia, so this is not a shock.
Well,
But
that
then
was
4.
actually not a shock, but
Okay, so 4 countries.
Yes.
4 countries.
Yes.
That's a lot.
As an immigrant.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And you speak Spanish, English, German, and France.
In French. And a little bit of Italian.
French. Of course. What France?
A little bit of Italian, exactly.
Sí?
Yeah.
Igual Italian.
Un po' di italiano parlo.
¿Y por qué?
Because I learned at the university.
Oh, muy
It's
bien.
a language that I really like.